Let's have a look at the college basketball predictions for the 5th and the 6th. First of all, just a quick reminder of the 4th results. This is yesterday. The green are the winning results there in terms of their predictions. Quite a few value bets there as well. Anyway, let's get on to the 5th, which is today. That's more what you're interested in. College basketball. This tool, by the way, you can get free access to yourself by clicking the first link in the description below. It's a free tool, and you get, sometimes they don't give you all the results, or all the predictions rather, if you're not a member, but certainly all these are available today, and I'm not, well, I'm a member, but I'm logged out, so it looks like I'm not a member. So I've done that deliberately, so you can see what you get as a non-member, if that makes sense. What have we got? Team 1, Team 2 winnings. Winthrop 68% against South Carolina Upstate, 52% for equal there, 52% for Gardner Webb. I wouldn't worry too much about the score prediction. They don't usually get that right, to be honest. I found. In terms of the money line, they're pretty good. And the value bets on the NHL, as I've mentioned before, on the NHL and ice hockey, go for the value bets over 2.5 goals. They've got a 2-to-1 ratio with very good odds. So usually have a 1.7 to about 2.5. So worth checking out. Anyway, back to this. This is what we're interested in. 65% for San Diego State against the Air Force. Or just Air Force, I presume it's the Air Force. Sorry, I'm from England, I don't know all these things. 55% for Boise State against UNLV. 51% for Radford against Charleston Southern. 75% for Michigan against Nebraska. 56% for American University against Bucknell. 61% for Houston against Connecticut. 74% for Ohio State against Illinois. 70% for Drake against Illinois State, 51% for Army against Lafayette, 62% for Colgate against Lehigh, 67% for North Florida against Lipscomb, 63% for Boston U against Navy, 65% for North Carolina A&T. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I am England, as I say, I'm British. 65% for Liberty against Stetson. 53% for Maryland East Shore against Coppins State. 78% for Howard against Delaware State. And this tool, by the way, in case I didn't say, should be used as more of a guide. Nothing written in stone. It should be used as a guide, as with other tools you may be using to form an overall opinion of who may win a game. 64% for Bethune-Cookman against Florida A&M. 81% for Morgan State against Norfolk State, 55% for Tennessee State against Eastern Kentucky, 73% for Longwood against Hampton, 65% for Wisconsin, Green Bay against Oakland, 53% for Youngstown State against Illinois Chicago, 51% for Grambling State, Alabama, 51% for Jackson State, Alabama State. 65% for Prairie View A&M against Alcorn State, 74% for Southern against Texas Southern, 64% for California, that'd be an interesting one, California Baptist against New Mexico State. These odds obviously come from some bookmaker somewhere, but that'd be an interesting one to keep an eye on. 65% for Utah State against New Mexico, 60% for Montana against Northern Colorado, 52% for Loyola Marymount against San Diego, 68% Montana State against Southern Utah, 74% for Stanford against Oregon State, 71% for Arizona State against Washington, 67% Memphis against Wichita State, 79% for Eastern Washington against Idaho State. So many to read out here. 57% for Austin, PA against Eastern Illinois, 62% for Valparaiso against Evansville, 55% for Weber State against Idaho, 79% Long Beach State against California Poly SLO, 74% for UC Santa Barbara against California State Fullerton, 83% for Seattle against Chicago State, 59% for UC Davis against Hawaii, 74% for Portland State against Northern Arizona, 81% for Arizona against Washington State, 83% for Oregon against California, 69% for Santa Clara against Portland, and 70% for Nevada against Wyoming. They do have value bets as well. I don't think the value bets win enough to make them worth looking into, to be honest, on the NBA and NCAA as well. Again, value bets, I think, score very highly on the NHL and the ice hockey, so definitely worth looking into there. The 6th then, let's have a look at the 6th. It's going to be another 100 games for me to read out. No, not too many. That's good. Betting predictions then. 86% for Bradley against Southern Illinois. 59% for Stanford against VMI. This game needs to be a full member to unlock that one. So 66% for Akron against Kent State. 81% for Harvard against Brown. 79% Pennsylvania against Cornell. 60% for Eastern Michigan against Toledo. 64% for Clemson against Georgia Tech. 80% for St. Peter's against Iona, 65% for Miami against Ohio, 51% for Duquesne against Richmond. Hope I've pronounced that one right as well. 67% for New NC State against Wake Forest. 64% for Central Michigan against Western Michigan. 52% for Citadel against Wofford. 56% for Northern Illinois against Ball State, and 76% for Indiana State against Missouri State. And don't forget, if you visit this page and want to take this further, enter your email in this box below, and they do send you 5-star verified winning picks just for being on their mailing list. Definitely worth checking out. And if you'd like to get access to the free version of the tool that I'm using, simply click the first link in the description below. That will take you here, and then go to click here to access the Match Predictor tool. That will take you to the tool itself, and you see this for all sports you've got. You can get predictions for all of these sports here mentioned across the top, and you can backtest for dates previous or looking at today as well. As you scroll down, you'll see the predictions for today as well as the value bets, and don't forget to leave your email in this box below, because you'll get 5-star verified winning picks on all these sports here as and when they come through from Zika. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.